It's the moment we've been waiting for, at least the moment I've been waiting for. It's the second half of my WIP parade where I get to show you all my new starts. New starts. New starts. I'm awake pretty early, earlier than everyone else, so I'm trying to be quiet. But I'll tell you why I woke up this early later in the video. First of all, this has been a very emotionally dramatic experience, about as dramatic and emotional as you can get when it comes to cross stitch. But we're here, and I'm beyond thrilled to show you everything that I've been up to. So let's start with the basics. I showed you my unboxing for Owl Forest Embroidery, and so I mentioned this is called Evil Cat, so I'm going to call him Mr. Evil Cat, or Mr. Evil for short. But I actually moved him to an 8x8. Let me just push the clips away from my stitching. Okay, I moved him to an 8x8 so he fits better, because he doesn't quite fully fit in an 11x11 Q-snap. But this is where I am with Evil Cat, Mr. Evil Cat. My mom is gracious enough to make me another grime guard. It is in the works. She'll probably have it done today, because I asked her for it yesterday, and she's just crazy about sewing, so she's probably going to work on it right away. But anyway, yeah, I absolutely love working on this project. I love all my new projects just because they're new and exciting and different, but also, I don't know, they're just fun. They're just so much fun. So I feel like I'm going to get this done this year for sure. It's just stitching up so quickly and easily. So that is Mr. Evil Cat. The next one I want to show you is Hello Petal. So I've done Hello Deer and Hello Pumpkin. Eventually I'm going to show you all of them once they're all completed. But for now, I'm working on the spring one. The summer one's out too. I forget what that one's called. But I'm only doing one each year. So I started Hello Petal, which is 2/1 14 count. This is the only 14 count project I have, and only just because I started the first one on 14 count and I want them all to match. So this is where I am with Hello Petal. Again, I think I'll get this one done this year. Does anyone else watch Ginger Gerald Stitches? He makes these faces. I really like him. Anyway, okay, here we go. Hello Petal. Okay. The next one I want to show you is White Sun, or Whitsun, Witsun, no E. No E for white, so it's Whitsun. This is not a full coverage, but if you look at the pattern, the entire thing's done outlined in black. And then there's areas that are filled in with color. So what I decided to do with this one is I'm going to do the whole thing in black. And then go back and fill in the color, just to do something different than everything else. So this one specifically, I'm just going to do the entire outline, and then I'll go back and do all the shading. So, and like I said, I'm participating in No New Starts 2022. I did 2021, and that's why I'm like scrambling to get all these stitching done, because I have to have a minimum of 200 stitches for each project. in order to make them eligible to stitch in 2022. So for the most part, I have everything done. Not everything, and I'll explain why when I get to it, but most everything. But in any case, everything I show you easily has at least 200 stitches on it. So here is Whitson so far. So this is 28 count. I usually stitch on 25. I don't mind 28. So this is 1/1 on 28 count. And I accidentally forgot a project. I'll be right back. Okay, so many of you are cleansing breath. Many of you are familiar with Captain Ratbeard by Chris Dunn. He has been with me since fall of 2020. And I decided I want to do another full coverage, start another full coverage piece for 2022. And so I went and started looking at Chris Dunn's other artwork, because he's like one of my favorite artists. As you know, I have a love affair for animals and clothes. And I came across Captain Sea Dog, and it's perfect. They're even facing each other. Captain Ratbeard's looking one way, Captain Sea Dog's looking the other way. It'd be like, brr, 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 you know, the English ship and the pirate ship fighting it out on my wall. It's epic. The problem is Captain Sea Dog is very beige, and the fabric I'm stitching on is kind of beigey, so it's really hard to see where I need to stitch and where I have already stitched. But my husband got me a headlamp for Christmas, and I don't know how I ever stitched without one. It's really a game changer. Really is. So I'll probably revisit this one again before, if I have time, in the next 2 days before the end of the year, just to get a couple more stitches in. It has about 500 stitches on it now, but I would like to have it a little further along to start the new year. But this is where I am at with that. So not a whole lot to show you. We're in for the long haul, Captain Sea Dog and I. But it'll be so cool when they're done. Won't it? It'll be so cool when they're fighting. Anyway. Okay, so the next one I want to show you, I thought I lost it. It's just a little... Actually, this is one of my mother's project bags. I love these things. But anyway, this is just a little card. And I couldn't find it one day. Here, it got kind of like pushed back in to my drawer and was underneath my drawer. I thought my son got a hold of it because he really likes cards, like flash cards, playing cards. He likes to hold them. And so I thought he got a hold of this. And if he gets a hold of something, who knows? I mean, there's no logical place where he would put it. It's not like he would put it somewhere where an adult would put it. It could be anywhere. So I was just tearing my house apart. And here it was under the drawer the whole time. I don't care. I'm just happy I found it in time to stitch on it. So it is Tales from the Sea Fragments in Time. It's a third of installment, but I love this one because of the octopus on it, and the color. I love that reddish octopus. So I'm just stitching this one. It's a small project for me. So most everything I stitch is huge, so it'll be nice to just have a few little ones to break it up and, you know, show that I'm accomplishing something. So anyway, this is all that I have done so far, which is the border. It's enough to get started, you know. And yeah, and that's where I'm at with that one. So yeah, it was pretty emotional. I thought, and that's why I kind of held off for a while in doing this video, this and other reasons, but I couldn't find this. I only found it, I think yesterday or the day before, maybe the day before yesterday. Yeah, I found it, and I just quick threw these stitches down on the canvas to say, okay, it's ready to go for next year. So there's that one. And then the other one I had some drama with is Watchers of the Dawn. So, I really like the design of the artwork, and I wanted to try to stitch on something smaller than 28 count. So I was doing 1/1 on 32 count, and I was managing it. I was doing okay, but the problem is I feel like the pattern itself was kind of getting muddied up because the stitch was so small. You couldn't really make out the finer details of what I was working on. So I'll show you what I started, but I felt like I was growing to hate this project, and I felt like I wasn't gonna really put a lot of time into it. Like I was gonna have to force myself to work on it. So I identified really early on that it was the wrong linen for the project. I wasn't happy with it. Oops. So here's what I did. And like even up here, you can kind of make out the design, but it's so fine and small, you can't really see it very clearly. So I just wasn't happy with it, and I decided, I went to Hobby Lobby. No, I went to Michael's. I went to Michael's and I got a roll of 18 count Ada, and I just absolutely fell in love with this project and went crazy. Like I wanted to stitch on it every day and not stitch on anything else. For like a week, I did nothing but stitch on this project because I loved the way it looked. It was satisfying. It made me feel good inside. So it's funny how, you know, you have to be able to identify when something's going awry, because what turned into a project that I probably would never touch has now become my most favorite project. Well, one of my most favorite projects of my new starts. So here is my redo of Watchers of the Dawn. Doesn't that look amazing? And this, you can clearly see the design up here. You know, it's just, it was meant to be on a larger count. It really was. So I'm very excited to see how this thing manifests. This is going to be one that's rewarding in small increments because it has these individual pictures, so you don't have to wait a long time to see the picture unfurl like you do on, you know, one of my larger full coverage pieces. Like, we'll be able to work on this one and see it manifest over the next couple months and then move on to the next one. So yeah, I think this will be really rewarding to see as it comes into completion. I worry though that I have started too many things and I will not have the time that I want to have to work on them. But like I said, I'm going to spend a week on each project and then go back and cycle through them again. I'm not really going to work on anything that I'm not excited about, except my dragon sampler. But I'm so damn stubborn, I refuse to give it up. And maybe with the headlamp, I'll have better luck with that one. Because this, Whitsun wasn't that hard. Whitsun's the same count, 28 count. And this wasn't that hard to manage. So I think with the headlamp, I'll be okay. With that darn dragon sampler. But anyway, yeah. Watchers of the Dawn is going to be really, really fun to work on. So aside from that, the other drama I had was I had ordered Tree of Magic by Barbara Anna back in October. There was only one store in the whole world that I could find that is selling it. And it's in Russia, which is fine because Alfarst Embroidery, Mr. Evil Cat, is from Russia. So I didn't think much of it, except the package apparently came to America and was rejected for whatever reason and went back to Russia. And so when I contacted them and I said, why is this taking so long? They said, oh, it's sitting right here. Like, the package got returned. So I asked them to try again. And I paid another $15 to ship it. They said they were going to throw in a gift for my effort, which was great. And I've been tracking it. Like, the last time, the first time I came here, it didn't have a tracking number. They didn't give me one. I know it's a little sus, but it's fine. This time they gave me a tracking number. I was able to follow it, and it was sitting in Chicago since beginning before Christmas. And I thought, gosh, is it going to get here in time? Like, for the longest time, there was no updates. It's just sitting in Chicago. So yesterday I checked. It hadn't changed. It's still in Chicago. And I thought, this isn't going to get here by the end of the year. So I had to kind of decide what I wanted to do. Because, like I said, I'm doing no new starts starting next year. Now, there's other options. I can have other, like, plans that allow me to start this. So that's one thing. I could have stepped down to a different plan, as opposed to just not starting anything, which is what I wanted to do. But I just was waiting. I knew I had a couple days left and I was waiting. But on the other hand, I thought, well, I was kind of bummed out. So way back on my birthday, I went to a place called the Strawberry Sampler in Westchester, Pennsylvania, which is a brick and mortar needlework store. And while I was there, I got myself 2 patterns and a piece of over-dyed linen. And I had intended on using these things in 2023. But to make myself feel better about my failed start, I thought, well, maybe I'll start one of these instead. So I had got a piece of over-dyed linen to use with the one pattern. But when I looked at it and I thought, if I did 1/1, because it was 28 count, I thought, if I did 1/1, I have enough linen to do both of these patterns. And so that's what I decided to do. So I started 2 new projects as of yesterday, 3 days before the deadline of No New Starts 2022. And I'm throwing thread down on these over-dyed linens and starting 2 new projects. So, but you've got to see these patterns. So I have heard a lot about Rinaldo Parolin, and I found these at this the Strawberry Sampler. This is Halloween, and look at that freaking tree. And Christmas. You see how they kind of match each other? They're so classy and sophisticated and clean and gorgeous. I couldn't resist them. I could not resist. So I got a piece of overdyed linen, 28 count. I cut it in half, and it is more than enough to be able to stitch both of these projects on, because they're not very big. I think the Halloween one, this one is going to be like 8 inches by 11, maybe a little over 8 by a little over 11. So they're pretty small on single count linen. But this is the piece of linen that I'm going to use for Christmas, which I have not started yet. I will have to start it today. But this is, if I can kind of catch it in the light, you see how it has this shadowing? Like it's a grayish brown kind of, yeah. So that's Christmas. Will be Christmas. And I did start Halloween. So here is the linen. And then this is what I've done so far for Halloween. Isn't that gorgeous? I love it. This is a bird's house. I didn't have this color linen. So I'm going to have to, not linen. Oh my gosh, floss. I didn't have that color of floss. So I have to go back and do that. But otherwise this whole section is complete. That branch of the tree. So I'm glad I started them. But then last night I checked the tracking number again, and it was in my state. Like it updated, I don't know, it updated that it had traveled to my state, and it was actually in the town over, like the capital of Pennsylvania. It was in Harrisburg. So, I thought it might come after all. And so I had to decide, did I really want to start these Rinaldo Paralins? And of course I did. Of course I did. So I continued. But today, this morning, and why I'm up so early, is because I got notification that Tree of Magic came. Look, here's The Tree of Magic by Barbara Anna. And here's a little sampler of what it looks like. Isn't that cool? And Nitka is the company. So they were very communicative, very friendly, very nice, very professional. It was a really good experience, even though there was some difficulty with shipping. And I ordered it in October, and it's finally here in time to start for No New Starts. So I haven't even opened this yet. I just ran in here real quick and decided to do my video to show you and tell you about my Tale of Woe. So we'll unbox it together. But I know it has this, excuse me, because this came off when I took it out of the package. So I knew it had this little cap. I might put this in my bullet journal. I always save stuff like this, because why not? But anyway, okay, so they mentioned that they were going to give me something as a gift, and it must be this. Yeah. There's paper on it. Oh, these are magnets. And it has the paper, and then, oh, it's numbered underneath. So, I don't use these often. I might for this because it came, it's a kit. It came with its own thread. Alforest embroidery came with its own thread, but the thread was tied to bobbins, so I just bobbinated. And that's what I usually do, is bobbinate everything. I've never used one of these. But because Oh, look at that. That's cool. It's like wood burning. Yeah, wood burning. Anyway. Yeah, this is wooden. It's really nice. I smell everything. Anyway, because it came with this, I might try it. I might try to use it. And there's your ASMR. But anyway, okay. And then it also came with a paper one. Yeah. So here's my floss. It's not variegated or anything. It looks just like DMC. I don't know. It's not silk or anything special either. I think it's probably just DMC, which is fine because that's what I use for everything. The only thing that I'm not using DMC for is Mr. Evil Cat because it came with its own thread. Did you see the variegation? Where's Mr. Evil Cat? Oh, he's on the bottom. I guess it's not the easiest to pick out, but the color kind of shifts. You can't really make it out. Maybe on a really sunny day, I'll take it outside so you can make out the different shades. But anyway, okay, so, that says the Tree of Magic on the back. Nitka. Yeah. So here's all my floss. And I don't know, I always thought that these cards look like a jumbled mess. And like having this floss kind of hang like this, it just looked like a mess. I don't know if it's me. I've never done it this way, so I'm willing to try anything new. And I'll try it with this lovely gift from them for all my shipping woes. So here's the linen. And I don't think they have anything that says what kind of linen it is. Or if I'm looking at the pattern because it's kind of wrapped around. Here, I'll get the pattern out. Oh, actually, there's two patterns, and I knew that when I got this. It came with a bonus pattern. So here's the big pattern, which is actually 2 pages, top and bottom of the tree. It says use 2 strands for cross stitch. So maybe it's 2/2. I don't know. I doubt it's 2/1. It's too small of a linen. So it's probably 2/2. And, it has some needles. Came with some needles. This is folded in half, actually. The needles are kind of keeping it in place. Let me just remove these. And then here's the whole linen. So it doesn't come with a linen for this small. So there's one big piece, and then the small, which is called the 7-color flower. I'll try to put a picture up. Also by Barbara Anna. And then my instruction page, which is in Russian. But I know how to cross stitch, so we're good. But yeah, the whole thing's in Russian. Okay. So, with this small, so now I still have 3 things to stitch on. And tomorrow's my deadline. Anyway, with this small, I'm probably going to use this linen. Since I didn't use it for this, I'm not going to use it for this. I'll probably section out a piece This is 32 count. I'll do 2/2 for the small on this 32 count linen. And then it's not going to waste. So there's that. Anyway, yes, that's all I had to show you. I'm excited to start all this stuff. So I'll finish with my starts tonight. And then with my next video, I'll show you the last 3 starts started. And yeah, and then from there on out, we're going to do 1 a week. So we'll see some massive progress at the end of each week on one project. So maybe I'll do stitching every other week. I mean, video every other week, just so I'm having more than one thing to show you. I don't know. We shall see what the new year brings. But anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!